Shady.
What's up, Acho? What's up, baby?
Hey, that's not bad.
Hey, how we doing? You know me. Talk to. What's the question? I don't know.
Did Prime gift them to you too?
What's going on? What's going on?
I love your Prime impression, 2-5. He would be proud. Let me ask you, though. They're already 2-0, Ben. They're about to be 3-0, we assume. They're favored by 23.5 against Colorado State. What would a 3-0 start for Prime mean?
I want to say that this is the real deal. Like, okay, we could take Coach Prime serious as a real coach, but he's already shown that. This right here is just to show the world that, hey, listen, all the hype, all the anticipation for this coach, for this team, is real. And everything you thought of Coach Prime before he got here, it's real. Everything you heard, it's real. No matter what league it's in. No matter what league it's in. And I think he's doing the same thing he did at Jackson State that he's doing in Colorado, and it's only getting bigger. And I feel like nowadays, once we see how good he's doing and it's so successful that he's going to become, better recruits, makes the school even better and better. Colorado will never be the same.
I feel you. History, Joy. I feel like we are on the verge of witnessing history in college football. Like, I always think about the road that you travel in sports. I think about, like, how far do you get from point A to point B? Last year, Colorado won one game. One game. They're already about to be 3-0. And so when I think about it, I'm like, if Prime can pull this off, the history that we are witnessing is something we'll be talking about for years.
No, like, let me.
No. They look good on you. Wait, remember Shaft? Remember Shaft? The girl with
I mean, it is. He's building something now. Like Shady said, we already got past the point of, is the first game a fluke? You know, what's it going to do? Are they going to be able to beat a non-ranked opponent? They're going to do what they're supposed to do if we think they're as good as we think they are. Well, they already did that. So now this is just a momentum builder. The tests are coming, right? They're on the way.
In bunches.
In some bunches, yes. They're going to have Oregon, who's ranked 13th right now. They're going to have USC right after that, who's ranked 5th right now. We know what USC is capable of on offense, of course. And they're playing a bad team. Like, let's be honest about Colorado State. They lost to Washington State 50-24 2 weeks ago.
What was the score?
50-24. And they were down 43-10 with under 12 minutes to go. So that's really kind of even a skewed. There's some garbage time points in there for sure. They've lost 23 straight games to ranked opponents. So this is a game that we really wouldn't even necessarily be talking about that much if it wasn't for Prime, which is the Prime effect. Because that's how much we expect them to win and win big this weekend. By the way, I mean, how easy was it to predict that the glasses were gonna get worked into the situation? I just think this is just adding to the resume now. This is when you're supposed to win. You're supposed to win big. I think that they will. And then we have the big boys coming up after that.
Yeah, and that's why I think this means nothing. 3-0 means nothing because of who the opponent is, right? You should dominate this football game. You should win this football game by a lot of points. For me, the only ones that matter is the USC, the Utahs, the Oregons. Those is the one that matter. But to be honest with you, this football team, what they put on the field these first 2 weeks, you beat a really good TCU team, right? In a one-possession game, then you come back home and do what you're supposed to do in a dominant fashion over Nebraska. You're going to go out here. They're going to dominate this football game again on Saturday, and you will be 3-0. But for me, it's the big picture. But,
James, let me challenge you, big dog. Let me challenge you because I don't think those ones can matter unless this one matters. Like, I don't think the USCs, the Utahs, the Oregons, the Oregon States, the UCLAs can't matter unless this one matters. I remember in college being at Texas, we'd be ranked. And that Texas-OU game, it usually dictated who would play in the national championship because OU was at the top and we were at the top for the first 2 years in college. But then, Shady, by my junior year, Joy, we were like 2-3 before Texas OU. That game didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because the ones that didn't matter, we let matter.
Right. Yeah.
And then the one that was supposed to matter didn't matter. Yeah. And so it's like we're all anticipating, and I more than anybody else, because I will be in studio tomorrow for 13 hours on Fox talking about all the games. We are all anticipating those big games, but these ones are like the tendons, if you will, that are holding things together.
Yeah, but thanks to the coach at Colorado State, they will not be overlooking this game.
Yeah. That's true. That is true.
He made perfectly sure of that. Yeah. So normally I would agree with you. Don't overlook it. Don't get too excited about what's down the road. Don't play around. Don't play with your food in Colorado State. They ain't going to do that now.
Yeah, look at that.
Thanks to Coach Norvell, everyone's paying attention. Everyone's having expectations. It's personal now.
Yeah, so
you're right. You're absolutely right. This game does have to matter. But they made sure that it
But it's one thing, and the blessing is Prime came from Jackson State, right? To where you had some of the best players that could have went Division I and all that, and that was kind of a knock on him, Jack. You just got better players than everybody. So he's used to making sure his players are ready to go every week because you're going to get everybody's best shot, right? And that's when he was on top, so-called, at Jackson State when they were winning. Then you come here, so Prime is not going to let them slack off. They are going to be ready for a football game, and they're going to win this football game in dominant fashion. But for me, for them, man, it's the big picture, man.
Hey, Coach Prime, thanks for my glasses. hey, real quick, another thing I want to answer, though, with a good question you asked, is that with 3 wins, what would this mean? It means that when Colorado's on your schedule, it's not the old Colorado. Yeah. Think about that. When USC, Oregon play Colorado, we got Colorado on the schedule. Cool. Hey, you want 200? You want 20 yards? All right, look, Coach, I'm trying to get the ball. Yeah. Nah, no. This is the new Colorado. You got us on your schedule, it's like, oh, damn, we got them this week. We got Coach Prime. We got 2 Heisman candidates on the same team. Yeah, it's that Colorado. So with 3 wins going forward, yeah. I just like to do that. I like to do that right there. Like, yeah.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.